Good morning everyone. As promised, we have another fairly old phone to show you. This one in fact goes back to January 1954 when I was just 10 years old, so it goes back a fair while. Anyhow, the one we're looking at is an Ericsson type 1951, often called the Ericsson RUEN. They spell RUEN as R-U-E-N, which is a mistake. It actually says, when you look at the back, it's got Ericsson with this name above it. It's actually RIJEN. The I and the J tends to look like a U. It's a common mistake, so it's actually RIJN, where it is made in the Netherlands or Holland. Ericsson had their factory there. These phones are fairly, I wouldn't say they're rare. This one I've had for years. Don't ask me where I got it from. It had been carefully stored, I think, but anyhow I give it a bit of a dust up and clean up to present it so it looks a bit nicer. Interesting to note, the handset, which is the standard handset of this type of RUEN phone, was more or less based on the Western Electric F1 type, so it's very similar to the American F1 type handset. Incidentally, this handset, someone had modified the innards. The transmitter and receiver are more up-to-date models. As they don't show, I'm not going to fiddle about with them. It is possible to pick up the older type of handsets and receiver, but what's the point? There's no point. They've obviously modified it so it works better. And a little white button there is the earth button, which these phones had on it. The other little ring there was where there was a label stuck on it, presumably with a price on it. I've tried to clean it off, but it still slightly shows. So, there's the number card space. The dial just shows numbers. A nice dial actually. It's a typical Ericsson type dial. This one did need a little bit of oil, not too much. Use clock oil, that's the best. You can use 3-in-1, but clock oil seems to do the trick. It was actually, as you dialed the 1, it didn't return back completely, it stuck, and that was on the taking up the pressure of the dial off normals, because they had to be operated just prior to the dial coming to rest, and it took a little bit of tension on that. But anyhow, a little bit of oil on it worked. We'll have a look at it at the back later. Anyhow, these were obviously the other common phone that was used in Holland. And I'll talk about the front. Let's have a look at the back. Be very careful because it's got a funny arrangement at the back that holds it in. Excuse me while I fiddle about. At these times I wish I had an extra pair of hands, but I haven't. So let's have a little look at the back. There's a typical back with the typical fixings. The back is actually held on by 2 little clamp arrangements which are screwed in the side, both sides, and imagine this being hung on the wall, which they're used. The spacers on this type is actually metal, which indicates it's a later version. I think the early versions, these little spacers, were in rubber. Let's see if I can remove the thing without doing too much damage. I'm going to have to put this down because it does take 2 hands, so please excuse me while I do this. I think you can probably hear me while I'm rabbiting on, but I don't want to break anything because this is Bakelite, and as you know, Bakelite tends to be very delicate. It's an early form of plastic. Right, there we are. Let's turn the light on so we can actually see, to tell the truth. Here we have the innards. Make sure I focus it right on there. The bell circuit. You've got your, where's my little pointer pen or screwdriver? You've got the capacitor. That is operated by the little white button, earthing button. And obviously press down that for your, oh, it's going that way. I'm pressing it the wrong way. As the receiver's put down, these are placed and you make those spring sets there. Very well made, actually. Single contacts, I think. Yeah, where's a lot of other, oh, are they single or double? No, I tell a lie, they're double. They're double contacts. On the other side, you've got your side tone induction coil with a little capacitor strapped across it, which is all for that purpose. Here you've got your terminals, and obviously the bell, which I can give a little demonstration, I think. And as I've always said, it ends with a nice ting without it touching the gong, so these gongs are both adjusted okay. Looking further afield, we come up to the dial. I've had it out and given it a clean, or oh well. You can see your pulsing springs and the off normal springs. Well made dial, actually. This is a typical Ericsson style dial. Not a bit of plastic inside, which is nice. Alright, the cover's made of plastic, but the innards are the little cogged wheels are in this sort of Paxolin, I think it's called. It's not metal and it's not plastic. I think it's called Paxolin. And what else we've got, and this might not come up very well, we've got a diagram. I'll try and get it so you can see it better, even if it's in part. It's so important to have a diagram. This diagram probably does exist elsewhere online, but that's an actual diagram. Well, I think that's it. I think I've said everything about it. Let me have a look at my little sheet that I always write down. January here. Yeah, I think that's it. Anyhow, once again, many thanks for watching. I'll put this one up on good old YouTube. As I say, I don't know where I got this from. Possibly from a boot sale. I used to go to the boot sale at Wimbledon before they closed it down to build houses. So that one doesn't exist anymore. But anyhow, a load of stuff had come from the boot cell, plus a lot of lamps that I've got. Anyhow, I'm going to stop talking now and put this up. Once again, many thanks. By the way, these clips, the screws on there, which the idea is as you screw these up, it locks into the little slot on the base, and that's on both sides. You've got your two straps which hold it, which hold the base in. So obviously once this is up on the wall, which it would normally be placed, you wouldn't drop the top part, because I said before, plastic just shatters, so be very, very careful. I'm very lucky with this one. I've had this quite a while, and fortunately it's still in one piece. The only damage, the little nick out of the, just see a little nick there, which is neither here nor there. Anyhow, thanks again for watching. Any comments please make, and I'll pop this up on YouTube. Thank you. Thanks for watching.